Hi everyone. The topic of karma and misunderstanding of the law of cause and effect maybe needs a little bit more exploring. Yes, I skipped through it, I admit. So here it is. A few more words about the law of cause and effect. It has very bad connotation with this system of karma coming from Hinduism and this kasta system that you are born, you're paying for your past mistakes, or you are benefiting from your good doings. Karma means action. It doesn't mean exactly what, but just means acting in the world. Try not to act in the world, you're dead. So basically, there is a lot of misunderstanding around this. And the two great harms that are done through belief in karma, reincarnation cycle, that you're paying back for something, so you need to suffer and shut up, is the guilt and shame that is accompanying you. So if something happened to you bad, you're trying to bear it in peace because you did wrong, so now you're paying back. So you're just stuck with guilt and shame of it. And sin, because it transfers for some people believing in Catholicism, Catholic religion, Christianity. So then you have this form of a sin. Another one is being indifferent towards someone who's suffering. So another harmful thing is to stop caring for those who have very bad life. Well, they deserve it, right? You would think. So that's the second harmful thing that is around this misunderstanding the law of cause and effect. And I'm very much here with you. This interpretation doesn't really serve us, whether it's this way or that way. So here I would always, again, I'm saying my opinion, so you remember my opinions, my perception, and please pick up what resonates with you and leave the rest. Just go for a good walk, skip from my channel, and pick only the content that applies to you, that you like it, and it brings you some value. So here I recommend caution and tracing the patterns. So whether you are psychic, intuitive, or someone told you had this reincarnation, something wrong happened, the paying for something and being on a different position is actually the least problems. What's happening, according to my observation, those people who were telling me, is the cycle of repetition. So if you were a victim of something, there are few reincarnation when, whether you see that and you're telling me about it, that you were still playing that victim. It's not always the case that you were a queen, you did wrong to someone, and then you are this poor suffering person. It happened that you were this poor suffering person, then you are again this poor suffering, because this is a law of vibration, and correspondence also plays a role here. So how I would approach it, first of all, with caution and not believing immediately everything you see, perceive in your mind, or other people are a psychic telling you that happened, but dig a little bit deeper from different perspectives. So I always like to incorporate the psychological one with spiritual one, because sorry for my throat today, it gives you just more value to understand your personal path, your personal journey. And when the cycle repeat, you don't have to go to past lifetimes to see how patterns in your life are repeating. It's very likely that it goes further away than your current lifetime, but if you just trace the patterns that are repeating in this lifetime, you have a pretty good picture how to heal it. You draw certain situations to yourself over and over, you cannot skip over something. So it's enough to trace that. And now psychology looks at it from the perspective of unfinished business. So we are growing in a cycles, and this cycle is repeating, and we didn't close it maybe quite last time. So it repeats for us to discover a little bit more, maybe just one more puzzle, and to finish that cycle. So it's like unfinished process that wants to repeat until we can finally finish it. That's one of the approach. And then if you have that, if you trace that, then maybe you spontaneously are going to have the same visions, impressions, insights about your past lifetimes. Perhaps there was something similar, but very often it's enough to work on the current patterns, because if we take something and we don't remember that impact from past lifetimes, if we take something here, the same energy, the same code, you know, there is this coding of the soul, some trace. You do not have to probably hear my name or see me, but some people just will perceive me from my voice. They don't need to see me even. There is something specific about each and every one of us, something that is only our certain code just for us, essence of ourselves, unique, our uniqueness. Every one of us is unique, although we are oneness. There is this, you know, duality, paradox everywhere. So you do not have to remember your past lifetimes in order to trace the patterns that are repeating in your life. And then when you work with them, you are addressing it on a different level. So you work psychologically on it, you work from different, you know, communication skills. You do something that is unusual to see how this pattern may change. And then you can also go into working with energies. And some of you, I heard and I hear you, I know how hard that is, that we do tend to claim that, okay, we did it all, but it didn't change. I don't know what else I can do. These patterns are very deep in our subconscious mind, are very, very deep. And to trace them, we usually need that mirror, that whether we are able to look at it ourselves, but usually we need a person, a therapist, a specialist that will help us to see that better and draw the right kind of conclusions for us. And these things like to happen in the different channels of communication. I'm referring to process-oriented psychology here. So you have the world channels. Certain situations are happening in your life, they are repeating, they are the same. Then you have relationship channel, symptoms, sicknesses, they come in and out, chronic diseases, all these kind of things. So this is something that you can take a closer look at. And again, this is not something you can just do quickly. This is some process that you work gradually on and you are exploring it. I really hope I said a little bit more about this cause and effect thing and how to work with that, how to envelop this process by looking at different patterns in our life before we go in, even jump into reincarnation. There is one more thing that maybe it's worth to mention. Someone said, one of you told me that I don't care about past lifetimes, I don't remember why, and another person said, but I want to remember why we do not remember. So as much as I can only say my opinion, and I don't really know, and there are a lot of concepts about it. You don't remember, so you have a fresh start, so you can your soul wants to kind of learn from the scratch, or your soul doesn't remember because the soul is ever knowing, everlasting, one knows everything. So if you do remember, what's the point of coming here? There is a plenty of concepts, philosophical, and they are great. I love them too. But if something happens, there is usually a good reason why it happens, and we can follow that line that we do not remember for some reason, and it can be so simple as typical processes like, you know, rationalization, ignoring, and we do not want to remember something that was so harmful, because if we do, we cannot function in the world. So it's one of our protective mechanisms that is helping us the best it can in that particular moment, so we can function and live and survive in the world, in the current situation. That could hopefully maybe the good answer for now. Let me know what you think about it. I'm looking forward, and have a wonderful day. Bye bye.